She need to keep her integrity and do the right thing, because I keep telling her, like I told her before, this is going to sink her. I mean, sink her.
Before you can take any action, you have to get the truth first. Nobody is above the law, including myself.
I am not an estate agent. I'm a repatriationist.
Everybody who is found wanting will face the due process. Already the court process has started in some cases.
What we need to do is at some point take this conversation to the next level and talk about how to get this resolved. This cannot keep going on. It's happened to too many people. She needs to be accountable. Yep. She needs to be responsible for what she's done.
So I call it the Gambian job. Gambia doesn't have diamond and all this, but I'm telling you, land is the come up. Even the president that's there right now, right this minute, he himself used to be a hustler in the UK. He in fact got deported by the country over there, and he entered the land business. So he was like a Juliet. This is what the hustle is. You see what I'm saying? So now Blaxit probably, she learned about it and she knows this is the best way to make easy money.
Oh, I'm with the president and all of this automatic citizenship. No, you can't do both of that and then be sloppy and doing underhanded stuff. I told Adrian, I said, when people from the U.S. come over here and they see Julia, it's going to be a problem.
I have a receipt from Blaxit with Blaxit stamp on it that I paid her. So she was selling the land, right? That was her first mistake.
She doesn't sell land. We also have an MOU from her, Blaxit, to Samuel.
You know, the second part of what I agree to is that if you bring me into disrepute, you will be paying my legal fees.
Oh, that she still doesn't sell land.
Mr. Strickland in here, because she sent the most, Blaxit has sent the most information about your transfer. Tell us your story. Tell us when things went wrong with you, Mr. Strickland.
Well, I'll tell you. My story replicates Dred's. The second trip to check our property to get it squared away, the same month, we got the same bullshit from Juliet.
This is his transfer. I mean, what does this prove? It proves that the land was transferred, right? If this is indeed Mr. Strickland's, if that is indeed his signature.
And she's showing you documentation with signatures. That stuff I didn't sign. The only thing I had was a receipt that they gave me on a piece of paper, a piece of notebook paper. That's all I got when I purchased the property. All the rest of that garbage that got my signature or whatever's on it is a bold-faced lie and a forgery.
Scamming people.
She said she doesn't sell land, but we also have a legal document that it is transferred from Blaxit to Sam.
I am not the landowner of any of those plots. I am not the owner.
Story is, these people, they send the money to her to get them a land in a village called Jambanjeli.
Okay.
But instead, you know, the paperwork, whatever they received, is telling them about another place.
Question with Juliet, that on the Akala transfer, it said the Casacunda district. So straight away, I said, this doesn't sound right, because how can I buy a plot in Jambanjeli, but the paperwork says, on the Akala transfer, says the Casacunda district. So she says, oh no, they share the same, they share the same Akala. They tried to fool us, but I'm not stupid. So I'm just really frustrated with how she handled it. And then I'm stuck with a plot that I don't, number one, it's not registered. So I don't know if I have that plot. And number two, It's in an area that we didn't want.
Your land is in Jambanjelly Estate, which is in Kasakunda. And at the end of the day, Kasakunda and Jambanjelly, they actually are side by side. So you can go from one region to the next in like literally some areas, it actually overlaps.
A group of people who know nothing about farming are buying lands in farming areas. I don't know if they even understand that they're buying lands in areas that are way underdeveloped.
The lands that they were selling, because the lands of these people that they're taking and selling, some of these lands where they even located, they will not see development. These are farms. You will be there 100 years. You will not even able to have a running water or electricity. If you want a trip of sand, there's no lorry can go to these places, because I see places like Kasakunda. Kasakunda up to now doesn't have good roads.
This to me seems like it's some kind of bandulu going on. Reason why I say that, I'm going to assume that she's probably getting people to send money by PayPal. Because if you're going to have this going on by bank wire, it's going to be all too easy to retrieve that money and for you to be penalized.
She said to PayPal that my husband lost the Akalo transfer that has African property, which is a lie. She never gave my husband that. But for this woman to lie to PayPal, it is terrible. I am telling you, it is terrible. She lies a lot.
A lot of these lands people don't understand. They are tied. There's so many hands, ownerships tied to it. So if you're not careful, you could easily lose your money.
The people of Busura, 3 families own this land. That is Jaju Kunda, Kujabi Kunda, and Sane Kunda.
Certificate of occupancy, it is the title deed that show you that you are the rightful owner. Where when there's a dispute come or a family dispute, about they don't know when the land was selling, or the brother say, oh, you know what, I don't know when you sell this land, you will not caught up in something like that.
We found out a lot more things that what she did was that she got the land in Brusawa from the Akalo, and the paperwork wasn't done yet, but she was selling property. She did not have no paperwork on that property. Jallo, it wasn't in his name.
Blaxit has a lot of people who are impassioned and are feeling this way because they're feeling betrayed. They're feeling betrayed by what she has done.
Me interacting with Juliet, we had a good rapport, and so I built a trust with her by having a number of conversations with her. Purchased the land back in September of 2020, and I took a trip to the Gambia in November. Well, at that time, I was told it was because of the rainy season recently ending, coupled with the fact that the peanut farmers were waiting for their harvest. And once they had gotten their harvest, then the land would become available. And so it was clear to me I was not going to be able to acquire my land on that trip. I then planned to come back in March, and I started contacting everyone in January to say, okay, when I come in March, I want to get this land transfer completed. Again, it was a lot of running around, a lot of, oh, you have the paperwork you need. All you need is the Alcalo transfer. You're not getting your money back. It's your land now. If you don't want it, you are responsible for reselling it.
Yep.
Mr. Jallo set up a number of appointments with me, stood me up, one excuse after another, after another,
Yep.
after another.
Yep.
And to this day, neither Juliet, Mr. Jallo, nor Adrian have done anything other than try to bully me and threaten me about they've done everything they're going to do, and I need to figure out how to get this done for myself.
As mine was. Your story is almost word to word the same as mine was. It was first, it was one property, then it was another that cost more. Then I was nice to her, polite to her, said, we get well, all this other stuff. Then when she got my money and I asked, where's the papers? How can I get this taken care of? Then all of a sudden I'm getting yelled at, and I don't yell back.
I'm Dread 9. I'm the one that's been with her and been around her, and that she bullshitted me too. So it's pretty much the same story what she just told. We bought the property in November of 2020, and I went back in June, end of June. She still didn't have my paperwork there. And I got there for that week. I was there a whole week and tried to get rid of. She kept bullshitting me with Jalo. And then every time I called Jalo, it was some bullshit that he wouldn't meet me there. By telling you the truth, she is the one I gave all my money to and paid it full in cash for 2 different plots. One is for 40 by 60 and the other one is 40 by 60 in Brucewa.
Go ahead.
Look, I'm gonna start from the beginning so you can understand. You have twisted the story 1,000 times, right?
No, wait. I have not twisted the story once. No, let me talk. No, when I was on UN, they muted me, right? I will not let someone come onto my channel and lie, right? I have not twisted any story 1,000 times. I've got the evidence in my phone. You want me to show it? Okay, let me show it. Yeah? Seeing that I've twisted the story 1,000 times. Nothing speaks louder than evidence. Yeah? When I was on UN, he muted me, so I couldn't say what I wanted to say. Yeah? You, my friend, yeah? You, my friend, right? Let me bring someone else in. From time you open up and you didn't even say sorry. You didn't even say sorry. I think it's best he stays in America. Go and sell your plot. That alone is a lie. Why are you lying? Why are you lying? Who can twist things? You ever tried twisting things 1,000,000 times? About to twist things 1,000,000 times. Who can twist things 1,000,000 times?
The real problem is it's just like anybody else. When you buy something, you want to get your paperwork right and you want to move on with your life. It's not about this is taking a lot of time out of my life of going back and forth with Juliet. I done asked Juliet plenty of times of going to her office and talk to her plenty of times of getting this stuff corrected. And yet the first thing she keeps saying is this Akalo paperwork, which I can't get nothing done with, is good. It's your property. And I said, no, it's not my property. I gave you money for some property, but I don't have any property from you. So you can't keep telling me I got no property. Well, if you want to sell it, you got to sell your own property. It's not my property. How can I sell property that's not in my name? That's my problem with her. I want her to either do the paperwork right, to do the right thing with this Jalo guy.
Has the land. And then when he came to my office, like I said, he came there unannounced. We gave him a copy of Mr. Jalo's original Alcalo transfer. We gave him a copy of the completed official transfer. We gave him a copy of the clearance and the sketch map. We gave him a copy of all the receipts for local taxes and also the GRA taxes. So he could do whatever he wants.
All the lies he's trying to lie and pretending that, oh, he never get paperwork, he never get this, he's lying. Because he got the Alcala transfer. And in his contract, it said there that if you want the rest of the paperwork process, you know, that's something that we could recommend and refer you to someone that could do it.
So when you get all these discrepancies in it, what you think I'm gonna think? You think it's not a problem? I could see if it was one thing, but now we go from one thing to the next and to the next and to.
Here's something that I ran into with Juliet. The second trip when Dredd and I went to Gambia at the same time, I was told that I tried to contact Juliet. She would not answer the phone or anything. So I went to the police. The police, as Dredd said, Juliet would not respond. She paid the police off or whatever, but she didn't show up. I came back to the United States and called Juliet, and she finally answered the telephone. I asked her, what was the deal on my paperwork? And she told me, I sent your paperwork to Banjul Scam Squad Police Department, and it can be picked up there. I hired a lawyer to go pick my paperwork up in Banjul. When he went to the police station, the police told him that Juliet did not send any paperwork. She didn't mail any paperwork. They didn't have any kind of documentation on my property, and therefore they could not help him.
He went to the police and told the police that the land didn't exist.
I even had somebody representing me before I got to the Gambia. I had a Gambian that represent the transaction for me until I can get there. Julia gave her the runaround so much, she got so frustrated, she said she didn't want nothing to do with it.
Spent somewhere in the vicinity of probably $7,000 trying to correct a situation that's worth a lot less. And it's not about the amount of money I spent. It's the fact that I don't like being scammed. And that's what she did to me.
The issue that we're having is the Akala transfer is not a legal document. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Even if she gave me back a refund for my land processing, there's nearly £4,000 that I gave to Juliet for land that I, at the moment, don't legally own up to now, a year and a bit later. I've got need to mention that it's a big part of it is the money, but at the same time, it's had a big impact on our mental well-being, our everything, because it's caused a lot of stress, worry, anxiety, knowing that we've worked so hard to send and trust in someone, send our money over to have a future plan in a place where we want to go to in the near future to call home. And if anyone that lives in the UK or America knows how this system is so it's draining, it's mentally draining for everyone, where they take our money left, right and centre from the tax man. So when you do have an opportunity to kind of go back to Africa and build something, you know, it can give us a motivation to continue.
I had the highest respect for Juliet before I got into this process, and I have seen a side of her and her compatriots that I never expected coming from someone who I would have otherwise said of her caliber. Right. Particularly when she's treated, I've been extremely respectful, patient. I've given her opportunity after opportunity. I've made trips, 2 trips to the Gambia, and during that entire time, I had to pay all of my expenses from start to finish, chasing and running and spinning my wheels.
That's a scammer. They lied to us. They lied to us about the time frame. They lied. I gave her more time than what she told me before I came back. I wasted a whole trip there trying to get business taken care of because she bullshitted me the whole time about she was busy. That's the problem, bro.
The people here are just a small representation, I would guess, of the people that this has happened to.
They have a lot of people out there that does not even know about the situation that paid her and won't probably show up to next year or the year after next.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they have no idea that they're being screwed.
She has a story. She knows your weakness. She knows you're into the pro-black thing.
This is sad. This is grown black people who have the same mentality as the people that keep trying to oppress us. That's sad.
Your credibility will be intact because this is very important. If you are championing for something, for unification of black people, you should not be the one to oppress your people by trying to enrich yourself on top of them.
I'm glad that all of us are together, and I want to make sure that everybody stay in touch with this because we need to know how many more people out there that's going through this problem, man.
There's a lot of black colonizer mindset.
She's a criminal. I said, fat lady, you are a criminal. You are a criminal.
I heard apparently she's rolling around she's got a Range Rover, a Mercedes-Benz, swimming pool. I mean, from her own mouth, she said she's got security now, right?
In the first instance, we have to do our inquiries, get comprehensive report, know the magnitude of the cases, then that's the time we can decide what way we are going to take.
The movement is being pimped.
This is what I want to say. Juliet said that she doesn't sell land. She is lying.
And I'm very surprised she can come on a social media platform and lie when Gambians are looking and knowing exactly Gambians wake up and know which woman, this woman.
One thing. And I don't business what you got to do about cease and desist. Yeah? Liar.
And Juliet is a compulsive liar.
Because she's a liar, she's not going to come on, she's a liar.
Scamming people.
So there will be an inquiry set up to find out exactly what have transpired. We are trying to see what is in foreign accounts. We are working on all that.